Hadeeds complain of poor detention conditions by Ryan Baichu. Senior counsel Faris al-Rawi has filed a writ of habeas corpus in the High Court against the Commissioner of Police, alleging that businessman Dominic Hadeed and his wife, Genevieve Hadeed, have been unlawfully detained and subjected to degrading conditions while in police custody. In an affidavit filed in support of the application, al-Rawi described the conditions in which Genevieve Hadeed was held at the Woodbrook police station after she was transferred there on the night of June 24. He said the cell measured about 8 feet by 6 feet, had a dirty terrazzo floor, no bedding or furniture, a hole in the floor used as a toilet, no running water, and reeked of feces and urine. He said there was no ventilation, the lighting was poor, and cockroaches were crawling across the floor. Another female detainee was curled up on the floor in a fetal position. Al-Rawi also claimed Dominic Hadeed, who suffers from sleep apnea and wears an orthopedic leg brace, was detained at the Karanag police station, where he was forced to sleep on a bare concrete slab without access to his CPAP machine because there was no electrical connection available in the cell. He said Hadeed was unable to sleep because of his medical condition. The affidavit states that Dominic Hadeed and Genevieve Hadeed were arrested on June 24 during the execution of search warrants at their Shorelands, West Moorings home. Police later took Dominic Hadeed to Gulf City Mall, where firearms and ammunition licensed under his firearm user's license and firearm user's employee's certificate were collected. Al-Rawi said receipts showing the annual license fees for 2026 had been produced to investigating officers and that the firearms and ammunition were lawfully held. The affidavit further states that the couple was separated later that evening, with Dominic Hadeed taken to the Karanag police station and Genevieve Hadeed to the Woodbrook police station. Al-Rawi said police initially informed him that an extension of the couple's detention had been obtained and specifically indicated it was not under a preventive detention order or the emergency powers regulations. However, when he later visited Genevieve Hadeed at the Woodbrook police station, she produced a notice extending her detention under Regulation 13(3) of the Emergency Powers Regulations, 2026. The affidavit says this was the first time the emergency powers regulations had been mentioned to her. Al-Rawi said he immediately contacted the investigating officer, Corporal Eldon Kaliste, and objected that neither his clients nor their legal team had been informed in advance that they were being detained under the regulations. When Al-Rawi later visited Dominic Hadeed at the Karanag police station, he said Hadeed was also served with a direction extending his detention for 7 days under the emergency powers regulations. The habeas corpus application argues that the couple were arrested during the execution of ordinary search warrants in connection with an investigation into conspiracy to murder and were not detained under the emergency powers regulations at the time of their arrest. It contends that their continued detention under those regulations is unlawful and asks the High Court to order their release. Dominic Hadeed, the owner of Blue Waters Limited, and his wife were arrested on Wednesday. Genevieve Hadeed's 69-year-old maternal aunt, Star Sabga, was detained on Thursday. Their arrests came 13 days after Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar endorsed Attorney General John Jeremy's warning that no segment of society, including the so-called 1%, was beyond the reach of the law. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has said the execution of a search warrant is a standard investigative procedure and does not constitute a finding of wrongdoing.